Everybody, welcome back to IT Montop. I've been playing around with some Solidity, which is the programming language for the popular blockchain Ethereum. And I recently coded along with a YouTube video from Morales. I'll link it down there in the notes. But basically what this is, what we're looking at right here is a interface for a staking contract. And I kind of made some adjustments, hard-coded some different fun stuff in here. You have the lock staking box with your button. And so what I'm going to do is, instead of getting into a lot of the front-end stuff, I'm going to see if this staking contract works and kind of take you behind the scenes a little bit and then jump into a little bit of the Solidity code, and so we can kind of see what's going on. So here we go. We have, we're going to stake 0.1 Ether on the Sepolia Network. So we're going to go 0.1. Let's try to stake it. Oh, okay. We'll confirm. And now let's see if this is, we'll see if this is going to confirm right here and see what's going on. I already put some Ether into the staking contract just to test it. And let's view it. Okay, so it just confirmed, and we can see it just subtracted. I was at 0.25 Sepolia ETH. Now I'm at 0.14. I'll just take a look on the block explorer here on Etherscan. And yeah, we see it confirmed, and we sent it to this contract right here, which I created. That's our staking contract. And we can see that there's a little over 1 ETH in it. And you can see that I've kind of already been experimenting, stake Ether, and then close positions. All right, let's go back and see then if we can unstake this. So let's go back here and do this. And let's see if we get our 7% APY on the staked, on the ETH. So unstake. Here we are. Okay, confirm. And let's jump. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my balance here, why that's off. I got to debug that and troubleshoot that. But let's see if I was able to get back my Ether that I staked. So I'm closing my position. And what this staking contract is pretty simple. It doesn't have a time-locked withdrawal. Oh, so yep, it just cleared, and I got my 0.1, should be 0.107 ETH back. So it's viewed on the block explorer. Okay, cool. There it is. So 7% APY, 0.107 ETH from the staking contract back to me. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And yeah, again, this is just a really basic contract. You can probably do it in a day or two. And there's not any interest accrual over time. It's just as soon as you deposit it, that it is automatically giving you that 7%. But you could code it to where you can have like I said, a time-locked withdrawal for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and just have that interest accruing over time. But this is just a really simple staking contract. And yeah, that's how you stake and unstake it and get that 7% APY. So let's jump into this contract that I deployed then on the Sepolia Network. And again, this is from the Morales video. A lot of that is from that video and learning from there. And so I'll link that as well. And yep, here is our contract. Here, I'll just bring it up in Remix. Might be a little bit easier to read right there. So here we are in Remix, and I'm just going to kind of go through this and explain this a little bit more in depth. So first we have right here at the top, we have our state variables. So we have our address public owner, which is, it's an address variable, and it's to keep track of the owner of the contract. And then we have our struct positions right here. And really what these struct positions are going to do is keep track of the wallet addresses, who staked, and which wallet address staked, and when it was created, when it was locked, the percent interest rate they're getting, and so yeah, it's gonna correlate that to people's wallet addresses. And then we're going to And then the next thing we have is our public, I think this is, yeah, these are our public state variables right here. And these public state variables, what they're doing is there's an unsigned integer to keep track of the current position ID right here. So keeping track of the position ID of the stakers. And then it's mapping those position ideas, or mapping the position ideas by address. And then we're mapping those ideas to the different public tiers of staking, so the different locked periods for to determine interest rate. And then our next line here is we got our constructor, and the constructor is payable, which means that we can receive Ether when the contract is deployed. And right here we have these tiers, and so what this represents, the 700 actually represents 700 basis points. So that's 700, that's 7%. Tier 30, so that's the 30-day lock. That's going to represent 800 basis points, or 8%, and so on and so forth. And yeah, so that's going to be, this is the main part of the contract that's going to give you the interest rates for, depending on how you're locking your, how long you're locking your ETH. And you could do that for other cryptocurrencies as well. But again, for the purposes of this video, I didn't set up any of these locked mechanisms, but I just did, I just staked my Sepolia ETH at 7% and then just unstaked it right back from the staking contract. And yeah, just to make it more simple. And yeah, so then we have this stake Ether function, and the stake Ether function, it's going to allow us to stake Ether for a certain number of days. And the user then can specify the number of days they want to stake. And that position, it's using the mapping, that position is created. And the user's address, it's associated with the new position ID. So we see we have the timestamp, the block timestamp, and the number of days. And then we're going to calculate the interest on that. And yeah, that next function is pretty interesting. It's the calculate interest function, and that's a private function that's used to calculate interest based on the basis points, which are up here, 700, 800, 900, 1200. And I'm going to jump into this function a little bit more in detail because I think it's pretty interesting. So this first one we have is the basis points, and then we have the Wei amount. And since Ether, it's divided into Wei, and that's the smallest unit of Ether. That parameter represents the amount of Ether staked in Wei. And then we have a private. And the private, it means that it can only be called from within the contract, and it's not externally accessible. And then we have the pure function right here. And pure in Solidity, it's a keyword, and it's not going to modify or read the contract state. And it's a read-only function, and it performs calculations and returns a value without affecting the contract's variables, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, and then what it's going to do here is how we calculate the interest rate is we take the basis points times the Wei amount, and the Wei amount is basically the amount of Ether, and then we divide it by 10,000. And when we divide it by 10,000, that's going to give us the final interest rate. So yeah, that's pretty cool how we can get an interest rate for a staking contract. And yeah, the next few different view functions, those are to get the locked periods, to get the interest rate. You're getting the position, the position IDs for each address, and it's returning an array. And then here's this last one, which is how do we close the position and get back our ETH plus the staked, plus that little extra percentage. And this right here is actually not right. I think this one right here is actually, it should be not dot call when we're getting it back, which actually should be dot transfer. And then I think this is right here. Dot transfer amount. Let's see. Yeah, that's right there. And so what that's going to do is that's going to close our position and then give us back. It's going to close our position and it's going to give us back our ETH right there. So anyways, this is a pretty fun video, pretty fun activity from Morales to stake and unstake and then see what's going, connecting your contract and having the back end running to get some of this information. Like right here, I'm getting the information of my balance of my wallet and then being able to stake and unstake. So yeah, anyways, check out the original Morales video and see if you can code along with that and get this working. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'll see everybody next time.